Today, virtually, I am in Brussels and hosting the chairman of the Association of National Numbering Agencies, Mr. Dan Kuhnel. Thank you, Dan, for joining me.
Thank you very much. It's an honor for me to be here. Thank you.
Let's start with a bit introduction of Anna and what are the key strategic initiatives you are having in association at this moment?
Okay, great question. If I could just in case any of the viewers are not really aware of what the Association of National Numbering Agencies is, we are a global association. We call it a federated model where we have local expertise in each jurisdiction that are handling the numbering and classifying of financial products. So today we have 116 members that are part of the association, and that's covering in excess of 200 jurisdictions globally. So for if you know anything about the numbering agencies and our functions, one of our key fair area of focus continues to be on the assignment of ISO standards. And for the numbering agency, we're responsible for three main ISO standards, the ISIN, which is the International Security Identification Number, the CFI, which is the classification of financial instruments, and the FISN, which stands for Financial Instrument Short Name, as well as we try to include the LEI into the ISIN record to assist the regulators and market participants in having harmonized data attributes. So our particular areas of focus are on the ISO standards. So the ISIN standard itself has just completed a revision. We do under the ISO world, there is a regular revision of each standard to make sure that it remains up to date and fit for purpose with the marketplace that they're intended to serve. So the ISIN standard itself has just completed a revision, and we're expecting to launch that revision into production at the end of 2021 or early 2022. We're still debating on the release timeframe. The second is the CFI, which is also gone through a revision to update it. That's expected to be published in Q1 of 2021. With that, Six Financial has now been appointed as the maintenance agency for the CFI standard. So that would be the intention is that they would now manage the code list and making it in electronic format. The main changes to the CFI have been to add classifications around OTC derivatives, which were omitted from that standard, and so we have been working with to add this particular elements around OTC derivative classification. For the FISN standard, it's about to commence its every 5-year review process, and that's due to start in the course of 2021. As there's a new DTI, so digital token standard that has been developed, and that standard is now going through the RA, so the Registration Authority appointment process. But this is going to be a standard that's complementary to the ISIN because it covers both financial instruments and non-financial instruments. And the last standard related that's is important to mention is that there's another new standard called the UPI, which is the Unique Product Identifier. And this is under development. ANA has been selected as the sole provider of assigning these unique product identifiers for OTC derivatives. And so we have been working very hard on delivering that. We're intending to deliver that within the course of 2022. So that's a key project for us in the course of the coming year. And the last one, which I have to mention, is the ANA Service Bureau, which is our master database of ISINs and related information. So today we have 71 million ISINs in this database, which makes it the largest global database of instrument identifiers and classifiers. Working with our two partners, which are Six Financial and QSIP Global Services, we're in the process of revamping the technology, adopting it to cloud storage and enhancing a number of the data services linked to that product. So we have a pretty full agenda in terms of the items we're managing.
Yeah, it is really impressive and a lot of A lot of job I can imagine to do next year. Good luck with this.
Thank you. It's a lot of items, but very key to the financial markets and the smooth operation.
Yeah, and let's come to one collaboration you had recently. And Anna had this with Global Legal Entity Identifier Foundation,
Yes.
and you take the award for Best Reference Data Newcomer. Please, can you tell us a bit about this award and its impact? And
Yeah, we were very pleased to be have been selected, and as you know, the background here is that we partnered with the GLIFE, so the Global LEI Foundation, and Waters Technology awarded the two organizations and their initiative to work together as the best reference data newcomer. The background is that Anna has responsibility for the ISIN, and the GLIFE, or the Global LEI Foundation, have responsibility for the LEI.
Mhm,
And we looked at there must be a good collaboration of linking these two standards together. In order to be able to have a better view on managing risk exposures to various issuers and instruments.
mhm,
So we actually collaborated with the GLIFE, and we designed a service of linking the ISIN and the LAI together and making it available as a product. So today we have 22 of the numbering agencies have opted into this initiative, and that's a coverage of 26 jurisdictions, simply because some NNAs cover multiple jurisdictions. Um, and this has contributed to the continual increase of the number of ISINs mapped to LEIs. So now today we have 5.2 million that are mapped, which is almost 72,000 unique legal entity identifiers, because you can have one LEI linked to multiple ISINs
mhm,
because it's at issuer level. So we're very pleased with the initiative. It's been ongoing for 18 months now. It's very much intended to work at meeting some of the requirements around MIFID, and LEI has become embedded in a number of requirements and regulations these days. So this was a very good collaboration to try and build a new sort of cross ISO standard linkage for the benefit of the market and to make it freely available.
mhm. Great. So, together with these linkages and the new products, you also mentioned in the beginning about the digital tokens and
Yes,
this new products in financial market, and maybe they will be the future also. Um,
indeed.
you have a special task force. So Anna is doing the job based on also on task forces. So one of the task forces is about digital tokens and security tokens. Uh,
Yep, indeed.
can you tell us a bit more about this task force? What is the outcome of this, and what are the next steps here?
Okay, great. As you said, we do within the ANA Association, when we have specific files that we want to put more focus on, we will either create a task force, as you mentioned, or a specific working group
Mhm,
to work on a dedicated analysis of that market development. So in the case of digital tokens, it is really a new area of financial asset, and I'm keeping it linked to financial assets in this particular case. um, and the world of tokens is developing very quickly, and there's a lot of interest, not just from market participants, but even now at the regulatory level to have this develop in an
mhm,
appropriate manner.
mhm,
So given that we have numbering agencies and we have markets that are exploring the use of digital tokens, we felt that there was a need for us as the association to create a task force to look at how we manage digital token identification for financial products, or so securities and financial assets. There is a new standard, as I mentioned, that is being created for digital token identifiers,
mhm,
but the DTI standard itself is much more comprehensive than just financial products. It's also looking at utilities, cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin, and also non-financial digital tokens. So you could actually tokenize some artwork, pictures, real estate, etc. So what we have been focusing on is maintaining the integrity of the ISIN and ensuring, again, it's fit for purpose, and that financial products, be they digital tokens or conventional products, that they still should be able to be identified with an ISIN, and that has really been the work that we have been focused on, is ensuring that the ISIN as well remains fit for purpose and covers all areas of the financial instruments.
This will be very useful for the whole
We
system.
hope, indeed, we hope our work is going to meet the needs of the marketplace.
I personally, I'm waiting for the results of this. And let's come to some association related thing, not just deep
Okay,
projects, but as Anna and as Feas, we are doing meetings. We are for the communication. So you canceled two meetings that was planned for 2020 in Croatia and South Korea. So how
indeed.
you are keeping the communication as your membership is very wide and you have around 200 members. How are you keeping communication during this time without meeting each other?
It's a very good question, and it has been quite a challenging environment. Not just within Anna, but I'm sure for everyone who's involved in certainly in the financial industry, the whole change of working from office to working from home, and the inability to have, the interpersonal connections that would normally come with meeting physically at various times of the year. So it was quite disappointing for us to have to cancel not just one, but two of our general meetings. And these have always been key for us to use as the board to share information with the membership in terms of the work that the board and the various task forces and working groups have been doing. Um, and also for us to be able to seek decisions from the members. So we've had to really modify the way we've been doing this. We still have a legal obligation to have general meetings twice a year. So we need to continue to have those taking place. But what we've been doing is utilizing a proxy voting model and using a WebEx facilities to actually present the material to the members, so that they're able to be informed of what we are seeking votes on or approvals for through the general meeting. So it has been an effort of the board to sort of adjust our ability to communicate. Now, keeping in mind we are a global association, and we're based. The numbering agencies are based all around the world. So a lot of our communications and interactions during the course of the year are done electronically through emails and documents being sent. So that has not changed. It's really just the general meetings we've had to adjust to a more electronic or digital format to continue to allow us to progress and make progress in terms of the files that we're actively working on.
So yeah, you used to work on distance, but anyway, the challenges are coming, and how are you keeping the positiveness? How are you encouraging your staff to work? Because working in a normal situation digitally, it is different, like working in pandemic.
It's also a very good point, and I think it's not just a challenge that Anna faces, but every organization has been facing as well with the pandemic that has been happening around the world. COVID often comes up on how we and our members have been impacted, and it's been a need to just continue being transparent and using the tools that we have, such as video conferences, emails, phone calls, um, communicating through documents, but it's really the, the need to keep the level of communication at an acceptable level. not just with the members, but as you said, also with the team that are working on this, not just the secretariat and the two managing directors, but the board members as well, ensuring that we have cohesion and we're all still focusing on the objectives of the association. It's been challenging, but I think we've done a good job in managing it, given the challenges we've had to face.
Great, and I am following Anna's on different channels, and the visibility is very good, and news are really excited during the year. So
Hmm.
I love your activities,
Thank
frankly.
you.
And the last question then, in your
Yes.
personal opinion, what life will look like after the pandemic, and what other challenges will we face in the future?
It's an excellent question, and I'll share my perception. So we went from a transition of being in the office to not being in the office from one day to the next. Um, and I think in the financial industry, we were very, very lucky that we were able to continue to work in a relatively stable environment, with efficiency and using technology to our better um, advantage. But it was a very foreign concept at the beginning because no one had imagined that we would go from 5 days a week in the office to 0 days in the week in the office, and then never being in the office. And now we're what, early December, and we haven't been formally in the office with our colleagues for what, a good 8 9 months now.
Mhm.
And if you look at what the government predictions are, that is set to continue for some time still. So we quickly had to adapt to the new reality. I think, as I said, we were very fortunate that in the financial sector, we were able to really continue our business as usual, in a seamless manner and with
Mhm.
resilience and efficiency. Uh, it's the governments have responded very positively to try and assist with economic recovery packages, and this really put additional focus on the services that the financial
Mhm.
industry provide, including the numbering agencies. There's even more focus now on the need to have data quality and transparency and availability of that data, which is really the core of what the numbering agencies are doing. Now, what will the future look like in terms of work
Mhm.
from home? I think that will now be the new norm, and that job flexibility will be factored into future working models. The travel, which I used to be, as you may recall, an extensive traveler with my job, to go from traveling virtually weekly to traveling at zero, was quite an adjustment. But we've seen very good use of video conferencing meetings. Some of the platforms that are available have really improved the data, the quality of the resolution and the interaction, the stability of the network. All of this has really assisted in creating a better resilient and efficient environment. um, but we still need to get this pandemic under control, to allow some sense of normality to return to people's lives.
Mhm.
And I really hope that everyone stays safe and continues to be healthy until we have a global vaccine that is available.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks for your thoughts and thanks for joining me. Dan Kuhnel, Chairman of ANNA.
Thank you.